I'm really ticked off right now. How are you feeling about them?
I mean, they stink. They stink. They're really, really bad. It's good to be back. I missed talking to you guys. It was a vacation. It was a working vacation, Waddle.
Always
I
is.
still did my shows.
Yeah, I know.
I still was doing stuff.
Wow.
I shot a 8 under par front 9 at Shark Tooth down in Florida.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, no big deal.
14 smokes? Did you? Oh no, that was different.
No, that was different.
Yeah,
but
different. Yeah.
it was a good. It wasn't a vacation. It was a trip because I it was the whole family, and as you guys know, going away with the whole family is not a vacation for the adults. It's a vacation for the children. It's a trip. It's essentially an away game where you're like Bowling Green going down to Tuscaloosa, and you're just hoping to get a first down every now and then. So, but it was good. I think I spent on Friday. I think I spent 10 hours in the shallow end of the pool, just
where you
sitting
should
there.
be. That's where you should be.
Making sure my kids don't drown. But yeah, I come back and I was paying attention to the Cubs over the weekend, and last night was, I think, maybe my final straw because it's just crazy. They're just so bad. They can't hold the lead for more than 5 minutes. And with the nights when they do hit, the bullpen, screws it up. Nights when they do pitch, the bats go cold. They're actually like the worst constructed team, I think, right now in terms of a watchability. Because when you turn on the Cubs, you're either going to watch them get runners in scoring position and never get a run, or you're going to watch them score some runs, then blow it late.
It's only June, though, Big Cat. It's only June.
You just need the All-Star break. We need a reset button.
Hey, let me ask you this question. Look, I'm not a Cubs fan, but last night when Wisdom is sitting at a 2-0 count, you've just been kicked in the nuts the inning before because Hector Neris gives up a 3-run bomb. You get a 2-0 count, and the umpire just goes blind and gives you a strike call, which should have been 3-0. I suggested, as I reverted to meatball fashion, that's the moment where Craig Counsell flies out of the dugout, gets his money's worth, and gets tossed. Are you on board with that as a perfect moment for a manager to have a fit?
I couldn't agree more because, and it does make us a little bit meatball here.
Yes,
but
no doubt.
The thing that drives, I think, most fans crazy, myself included, is that when the ship is sinking, sometimes you got to show a little bit of emotion and be like, "Hey guys, the sink is shipping. There's the ship is sinking. The sink is shipping." You know what I mean? Like you can't just do the same press conference every night and say, "Well, we're going to figure it out. We're going to still trust our guys, and we're going to have the same bullpen." And Kyle Hendricks is going to start later this week, and you just have to just show a little bit of something to let us know that you also realize that things have gone very, very south.
Yes, I mean, you can pick and choose your moment where you can actually try to give your team a spark. I'm not suggesting it works all the time, but boy, that seemed to be the perfect moment for him to have a hissy fit.
I agree, and it's just it's really it stinks. The whole thing stinks. I want the Cubs to be good. It does. We've talked about this before, Silvy. When the Cubs are not good, the summer kind of it feels like it's untethered. Like it just feels like it's floating, and it's a bummer. It's a real big bummer.
A huge bummer for sure. So then, did you think that the NBA Finals was a bummer for you?
Yeah, I mean it was. It wasn't competitive. It was Friday night the Mavs' one win was like an insane blowout, and it's just I went into this series being like, I have no rooting interest. I just want to watch some good basketball. I wanted to go 6 or 7, and we never even got close to that. And the Celtics were just better than everyone. That's just they were just a better team than everyone in the NBA. I think the only team that potentially could have given them a series was the Nuggets, and they got bounced by the T-Wolves in the second round, which feels like years ago.
They had a dominant year all the way through, but they faced in the postseason. They faced Cleveland without Donovan Mitchell, right? They got who else did they get?
Miami with no Jimmy.
With no Jimmy.
Yeah, and Tyrese Halliburton was hurt for a game or two.
Now, with that said, it doesn't mean that I don't think they still would have won the NBA title. But do you think that minimizes how people feel about them because they had an easier path?
No, I don't think. I don't think it. If you root for the Celtics, like, you can't apologize for it.
Well,
you don't
course.
apologize for a title. I do think it probably excludes them from all-time teams, but who cares about that at the end of the day, right? And if you're the Celtics, if you're Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, you're like, they're probably not happy with one. They're hoping like that. This is one of those things where it's like if they win another one next year or the year after, then you kind of erase anyone saying, "Oh, well, they didn't deserve it," and it now becomes a dynasty talk. You know,
Wasn't it like last year after they got bounced? Wasn't there talk that, well, maybe, that you can't keep these guys together, like it's one or the other?
Sure, yes.
Like, and Jaylen Brown was coming off a
People said he wasn't worth the money,
Right.
including me.
right?
I did.
like he really,
He looked terrible.
Yeah,
Remember
I mean-
last year he couldn't dribble.
yes, yeah.
And he is, and this is, not to tie it back in the Bulls. I'll tie it back in the Bulls. Like, Jaylen Brown is a incredible player development success story.
Yeah.
Like, when he got drafted out of Cal, he was not polished whatsoever. And what he has developed into as a basketball player is incredible. And it's like, that's an organization that knows how to win.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done. And they know not to panic when they have, not hitting the panic button last year and being like, they lost to the Heat. It was the 1-8 matchup. It was shocking. It was crazy. But to have the wherewithal to be like, hey, we can still win with these guys, credit to them. Credit to Brad Stevens. And he made incredible moves that put them over the top. And we're instead being like, we're still trying to build something and not going to hit the reset button, which is nuts to me.
All right, so I've got two questions for you guys. And I told Waddle in the pre-show that I had a question for him. First thing is, since you brought up the Bulls, I don't know if you looked at the future play. I don't know which book this is from, but what do you believe the odds are for the Bulls to win the title next year?
I mean, it's got to be like 50 to 1.
I was
50 to 1?
I was gonna say 45 to 1. That's
Miller,
probably
you have a
too
guess?
It should be 50 to 1.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to take that.
No, I would never take that. I wouldn't
75
take it
to
for
1.
anything less. I wouldn't take it anything less than like 1,000 to 1.
1,000 to 1?
Yeah.
So what is your guess then? You went from 50 to 1 to 1,000 to 1.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't take it at 1,000 to 1. I think it's probably 50 to 1.
Okay, so 50 to 1. Waddle said 40 to 1. And Mallard, you said
45. I
what?
said
75 to 1.
75 to 1. On this that I saw tweeted out last night, the Bulls are currently listed as 200 to 1.
Oh, okay, all right.
And the only
That's
teams
smart.
worse, the only teams worse to win the championship, Utah, Brooklyn, Toronto, Charlotte, Washington, Portland, and Detroit.
Funny thing is the odds of winning the split the pot up on the north side is significantly worse than that. Big Cat can't wait to get money out of his wallet.
That's right.
Well,
That's
that
a
one
good
I'm going to
comp.
win. That one I'm going to
Okay,
win.
all right.
Sylvie, that actually makes me happy that it's 200 to 1 because it would make you think that we are going to maybe trade Zach and maybe not re-sign DeMar and maybe actually do a full rebuild, which is long overdue.
Oh, I think we're going to get the news on a DeMar extension soon. That's what I would guess. I with no knowledge only of that the Bulls just want to be in the middle.
And as Big Cat said, think about what the Celtics did. Like, everyone thought that Marcus Smart was the glue, right? And they packaged him and moved him on, and they brought in and Drew Holiday.
They're always looking to do
Right.
something.
Like,
Right.
I mean, it's God. We stay.
All right, so here's something else. This isn't a trivia. This is a question like you like to ask, Big Cat. I thought of this sort of with you in mind. This is, let's say, your beautiful new house that you have, and both of you have new homes. So I'm saying you have to put your home up to gamble. This is a big, large amount of money that you have to gamble.
Yep.
And the question is, you have to bet that home on one of these Chicago sports teams to make the postseason here in this next season. The Cubs for this season. Okay, so in the current season that they're in now, the Bears in the upcoming football season, the Bulls in the upcoming NBA season.
Does play-in count?
No, you have to make the postseason because they got to the play-in and they haven't made the postseason the last 2 years.
Okay.
Don't mention the White Sox or the Blackhawks.
Or the Blackhawks. I mean, look, hockey. You know how hockey is, and
Of course,
they
I know
have cap
hockey.
room, and they have the second overall pick.
They're not going to the postseason.
Okay, so you have to bet your house on one of those four teams to make the postseason. The Cubs are a couple games out of the wild card. The Bears to make the postseason this year, or the Bulls.
Can it be Yurko rules where he thought that the Major League Baseball, there's 7 teams in each league that go to the postseason?
There are 3 wild card
I hate
teams.
the wild card.
You
I hate
thought
the
there
new
were 7.
wild card. I hate the new wild card. It's so stupid. The Cubs should not be 2 games.
Do you know
out.
what it does?
Well, they are, though, so-
just real quick. You know what it does? It makes teams, and it makes teams feel like they're still involved, which then
Yes.
ultimately it's the ultimate tease. It's like your fake rally. It's like the Cubs' fake rally.
Well, but then it gives a fan base maybe more hope.
Yeah, it's the Jerry Reinsdorf rule.
Yeah.
This is why I pushed back on it when the play-in game got announced a couple years ago. I was like, this is a bad thing because what's going to happen is the owners that don't have any actual want to compete will get to tell their fan base that they made the play-in, and what has happened? We've made the play-in every single year. The same thing with Major League Baseball. Teams that are not actually trying to compete for a World Series can be like, well, we were 1 game out of the wild card coming into September. We were right there. No, you weren't.
Okay, I'm going to get back to your question. And this may sound crazy,
It's not.
but the Cubs can't be any worse. And they're still
that
only
is crazy.
2 games out.
Okay.
They're only
that
2
is
games out of the last wild card spot.
With
Yeah, but
how
they're
many
not
teams?
good.
Right.
I get it, but there's 90 games left.
With a million holes and a lot of teams in front of them.
But you can't they've lost every unimaginable way.
But Waddle, they're not good.
I know, but you don't have to be good in the National League to get one of the last wild card spots.
But they've lost every imaginable way, and they're going to keep losing every imaginable way.
Well, you don't know that. At some point, there's no way that this entire team offensively continues to play well below their historic averages.
I disagree. I think there's a good chance.
I knew
I don't
this.
think so.
See, I knew this was a good question.
Listen, I don't feel like
We
you
feel
have to
best
think this
about the
through.
Bears, but it's tough to make the postseason with a rookie quarterback.
Right.
And there are good
division.
teams in the division.
Yes.
And then the Bulls are on the precipice of making the playoffs, but they haven't the last couple of years, and we don't believe in them.
I think as sick as it is, I think the answer would be the Bulls because the East is not good.
Neither is the National League.
If Zach came back and you didn't trade him, and Lonzo came back and he could walk, these things.
He was
I don't
dunking the
know.
other day. Are you buying?
Was he dunking?
Well, yeah, there were. He did,
8-foot rim?
and he did an under the arm dunk where he tossed it to himself under the arm and he dunked it.
By the way, the East stinks. But the eighth seed this past year was the Heat, and they were still 10 games over 500.
Right.
And the
I understand, but
Bulls
they
were 4 games under 500.
Okay, but they had a chance to go to the play. They had 1 game to get to the playoff. I don't know. I mean, I want to say the Bears, but I'm going to try to give myself a little bit more of a rational take going into this Bears season after what happened last summer. I think the Bears have a chance to make the playoffs, but if you put my house on it, I don't know. I think I'd have to go Bulls.
Right. This is like if you're betting some large amount of money, this is the old gun to the head thing.
Okay, let's kind of reverse engineer this. Which is the easiest path? Okay, which is the easiest? Do you believe that it's the Bulls because you think the East is so bad? You don't get if you.
I don't know if it is because. So if you finish with the 7th seed in the East, you still have to play a play-in game.
Right.
Okay, so if
you're
you
saying-
lose the play-in game, you still have to play
me.
another play-in game. So I'm just saying that.
So you're
maybe
right.
it is Major League Baseball.
You're right. That's why I'm saying to be in the playoffs, you've got to be a top 6 seed in the East. Otherwise, you're involved in the play-in.
Yes.
I don't know. What Cubs team are we talking about right now?
I know, bad one. And or is the simple philosophy that the Bears are the best team. The Bears have the best players of the three teams that we're talking about. So we should be going with the team with the best players.
Do you have questions about that?
I want to say that, but it's just like you don't. It's a rookie quarterback.
Do you
Yeah.
like
So
that offensive
you
line?
put your house on it.
Don't love it.
Do you like
But
the lack of pass rush?
I like the Bears' offensive line better than I like the Cubs' bullpen.
Let's also just say, okay, the Cubs are 2 games out of the wild card.
Right.
They are 5 teams in front of them.
Yes.
16. No,
There's
How
only 2 teams worse than them. I think it's Colorado and Miami.
yes. No, how many teams make the playoffs? 6, right? There are 7
Yeah,
teams
6.
in front of them.
There's
7 teams in front of them.
Yeah, but I get it. But
17.
I get it, but it's too.
No, I don't think you get it. I
do
really don't
get
think
it.
you get
I
it.
do get
I
it.
think this is one of those too many concussions moments. I don't think you get
I think I win for question of the year right here.
I think I'm still going with the Cubs because I don't believe that they can continue this pace of being vomit
it.
bad.
Why?
I just don't. I
Why?
don't because I don't because I think that Bellinger's better than what he's played so far. I think Hap's better. I think Swanson's better than what he's played. Like they will progress. They will progress to the mean in some ways.
All right, I'm looking at the Cubs schedule right now.
By the way, you've made me do what I don't want to do and actually make a case for the Cubs being a decent baseball team.
So then don't.
Yeah. All right, so here's what the Cubs have coming up. Hold on, let me just tell you what the Cubs have coming up because this is what's going to happen, and then we can have this conversation in a month and a half, and we can revisit it. The Cubs coming up have the Giants for 2 more games, the Mets for 3 games, who are, I don't know if you guys saw, but since Grimace showed up, they have not lost.
We need to bring in Grimace.
Then they go on the road to the Giants for 4 games. The Brewers, who are a lot better than the Cubs right now. The Phillies, who are the best team in baseball. The Angels, who stink. And then the Orioles, who are the other best team in baseball. They have 4 of their next 6 series are really good teams.
So they'll just continue to putter along like they've been puttering along, losing 2 out of 3 every series.
Listen, there is not a really good answer to this question, like where I feel strongly about it.
I think the best answer may be the Bears.
But that's because we feel best about them. But when you factor in all of the other equations, this is your house. I don't want to be homeless.
I know that.
So I'm taking it seriously.
Okay, all right.
Here, I'm looking at the whole Cubs schedule right now. I can already tell you what's going to happen. They're going to keep puttering along, and then in September they have 11 games in a row against the Rockies, the A's, and the Nationals.
That's when they make hay, baby, and
they're going to go they're going to go 9-2.
Yes,
and we're all going to say they were right there.
They're going to do their fake rally like they always do in the ninth.
So Silvy says Bears. You say Bulls. I say the Cubs.
Wow, 3 different answers.
I would love to say the Bears, but I mean, again, I've got to use my brain, not my heart.
If you want to weigh in on this,
I want to say the Bears too, but I agree. Like you just can't. You don't know what to expect from Caleb.
All right, before we let you go, at 332-3776, if you want to weigh in on this, what about Belichick and his new girlfriend?
Oh, so funny. We read it on Pardon My Take, the story written that they bonded over her homework.
Yes.
And he went to her cheerleading competition.
I saw you guys do this. This was fantastic.
Oh, man.
How surprised are you with this?
Not at all.
No?
I mean,
I am. I'm
it
surprised.
kind of is the Patriot way. Kraft's got a girlfriend that's very young.
Yes.
Brady, I think,
he's
has
married.
a new
Didn't
girlfriend.
Kraft
It's the
get
Patriot
remarried?
way.
Kraft got remarried.
Oh,
Did he?
I thought so. I thought he's married.
Either way. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. You're surprised by this?
We had this a little bit. I think Shay, did he ask us the question yesterday in crosstalk with him and Black? Like, if the cheerleader is your daughter and Belichick comes over, do you call him coach?
If you're the dad.
If you're the dad? I said
come
the same
on.
thing.
No.
Yeah, I said, hey, coach, how you doing?
You're the dad and you're saying, what's up, coach?
He's coach.
Have to. You have to call him coach. Put it there, coach.
Put it there, coach.
Do you wear a Brady jersey at the door?
No. Why?
No.
Then you're pissing him off.
Why would you want to do that?
Well, he's dating your
No, I
daughter.
don't think
He's
he and
50
Brady
years
have-
older.
I think he and Brady have mended a little bit. I think it's Kraft Belichick that's really the thing now. Yeah, I think it's like they had Brady and Belichick had their thing, but now Kraft has besmirched Belichick to such a level that Brady is almost feeling bad.
What do you think their conversations are like, Belichick and his new girlfriend? Honestly.
Philosophy homework. They're talking about our homework. They're like, all right, you got a big project coming up on Friday.
She's 24. What's she in school?
And no offense, don't take this the wrong way. What are you and Cara talking about?
Well, we have similar, you know, we like similar stuff.
Like what?
We both like the same shows. We are sports
you don't
related.
think they can like the same shows?
I just don't know.
You don't
think we have similar tastes? We were brought up in
I
the
bet
same
Bill
time.
Belichick is watching Below Deck.
I don't.
Flip it back on him, Waddle. Stand up for yourself.
No,
flip it back on him.
No.
Sylvy's wife is 20 years younger than him.
No, 13.
I just don't like. I don't know that you're in different worlds. She's 24. He's 72.
You were in different worlds.
There's, you know what? There's probably like fun things. Like she's
probably on TikTok. Is he on TikTok?
Yeah.
I have a 31, a 28, a 26-year-old, and a 20-year-old, and I can't imagine them.
They go through
Dating
history.
Bill Belichick.
They watch,
Yeah, well,
Belichick
72.
says, hey, you want to see Goodfellas? This movie that came out a while ago. It's really good. Oh, hey, I'll tell you my memories of 9/11, like that kind of stuff.
Oh God, stop.
You know, history.
He's got to shave down his body too. He's got all the hair on his arms.
Well, okay, there you go.
On the upper arms. On the upper arms.
She may be interested in someone who's like a dolphin. He's been waxed. And he's got hair all over his body.
That's what I'm saying. He's got to take care of himself a little bit.
There's the difference. I mean, like...
Clearly he doesn't. Whatever he's got going, it's working.
Remember all the hairs that were coming up like on his neck?
Yes, he doesn't take care of the neck either.
Maybe she loves the neck hair.
Could be.
Oh, man.
My daughter, who's 26 in Austin, Texas, plays like pickleball 3 times a day. You think Coach Belichick's out there playing pickleball 3 times a day?
Oh, I bet.
He might. Pickleball's a fake sport.
Then my daughter, then she goes out to dinner and then goes to concerts and stays out late. You think Coach Belichick's out till 1 in the morning?
Could be.
I doubt
it. So your team fake sport for pickleball?
Oh, yeah. It's the fakest sport ever. Tennis is boring, and then they just made mini tennis. Well, it's terrible.
You and Carm can bond over this because Peggy has been raging on Carmen because Peggy thinks this is sweeping the country as a new sport.
I'm hoping pickleball, the only thing that's good about pickleball is I think that it might just have been created to get all the boomers injured, which I'm fine with. Because they ruined America. I'm fine with it. Let them get some ACL tears.
You think pickleball was actually created by a bunch of orthopedic surgeons?
Yeah, but I'm serious. Boomers ruined this country. Why not? Let's get them some ACLs and some shoulder injuries on the way out.
I told you what I thought about the eclipse. I mean, it was Christmas Day for ophthalmologists or whatever they're called, the eye doctors.
Yeah.
Don't stare at the sun. Look at the sun. Look at the sun. I'll fix that for you tomorrow. Hey, by the way, of the 2 putts that Rory missed on 16 and 18, how likely is it that you would have stood over those and made both of those?
Oh, I hit them both 100 times out of 100. You know that. You knew that.
I know.
He normally does too, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, that was an all-time choke.
And then he didn't stick around to congratulate.
I have no problem with it. I honestly think that there's some type of losses that are so torturous that's
not if you're the face of the sport. You can't do that.
Oh, come on.
Nope,
You're doing your big J journalist. The only people who are mad about that is
journalist.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
You are.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, are you like that for all athletes though too? That they could leave after a bad defeat?
No, I'd like most of them to stick around. I'm just saying that particular one is so torturous that, like, I think that's just a human. And we said this on Pardon My Take on Monday. Like, all the media members complaining that they don't get a quote from Rory where they sit there and they say, hey, Rory, what happened on 18? And they're like, we can't write our stories. They do get to write their stories. Their story is Rory, sped off.
Yeah.
Whether
He
you
wrote a
value,
better story for them.
whether you
With a
value it or
quote.
not, it's part of the. It goes with the territory. It just does.
I don't care.
Well, I know you
Life's
don't.
too short. Yeah.
Are you?
That's just a good response to any conversation. I don't care. Life's too short.
Yeah, that's a good throw off. throw at you in any argument.
Right.
Life's too short.
Yeah.
You can win any argument with that.
Are you upset about the Cubs and what they're? I'm not upset about the
life's too
Cubs. Life's
short.
too short.
Life's too short.
Are you a
Life's too
Bryson
short.
guy now too?
No, I mean, I was rooting for him. Just I bet on him a little bit, and he is fun for the sport. I do think it's a lot of it is contrived, but yeah, I mean, he's the only one who won by going to live because less is more with him. So not having to see him every weekend makes him kind of fun when we do see him.
Yeah, I was gonna say he has been very aware of how people have felt about him. So whether or
Right.
not it's contrived, at the very least, he's more tolerable now and he's more likable than he ever was.
And the end result, I was saying, the end result doesn't matter to me. Like he could be contrived, he could be putting on a front, but he, taking the pictures with all the fans, letting all the fans touch the trophy. That's a cool moment.
Life's too short. Why,
Yeah, life's too short.
why be bothered by it?
All right, Big Cat. Good stuff. Thank you.
All right, see you guys.
There's
All right,
Barstool
bye.
Big Cat.